Hello and welcome to Fallout 76. The First Circuit Podcast, number 76. Today's topics are Big Mood Event and Sale, MC Champion C-Bills and the Incubus, MW5 AMA Session on March 13th, Warrior Spirit Dervish pre-order, and WarHorns, our two favorite and two hated WarHorns. Tonight we have Biter,
Blarg,
Ian,
hello,
and myself, Old Bob. Hello, Old Bob. Next. And so first we have the Big Mood Event and Sale. So what do you guys think about this?
I like, it's just simple. The assault mechs, I think, are 50% off.
Yeah, like always, I get so pissed off at these types of events, I'll just go on my little rant, and you have to destroy 10 UAVs. So irritating to actually have to depend on other people and fight 11 other of your teammates to go kill UAVs. And literally, I've not seen a UAV since. For this whole event, no one's dropped a UAV yet.
I've actually seen a fair number of UAVs because they've done the usual thing where they have a part that is detect with UAVs and then they shoot down with UAVs. So yeah, they get shot down fairly quickly. I would say this is mostly your biggest bugbear in this particular event. It's got a lot of really tough challenges that require a lot of work to actually grind through, and the rewards aren't that great. The destroying UAVs, they used to turn it back to just destroy one, maybe 3 UAVs.
This is 10,
and even then that would piss Bob off. And now we're doing 10.
And you're only getting what, 1 million C-Bills for it?
Yeah, and a day
premium time.
Yeah, and that was the one I finished the UAV one. You want to give the premium time away first so that people feel extra incentive to do the other events. You shouldn't put it behind one of your hardest ones to earn. And the other ones are pretty hard as well. I think there's 100 components to be destroyed in here as well.
Yeah.
10,000 match score, and that 10,000 match score one only gives you 1 million C-Bills and 1,000 GXP.
Which 1,000 GXP, that's one skill point, right? That's like 800, correct? Yeah, 800. Yeah, okay, so one skill point. Okay. Yeah, okay. Basically, I don't know, they should have, I would have been happy with 25 MC per, instead of GXP, 25 MC would have been fine, to tell you the truth, just a little bit more. But GXP is kind of useless now.
Yeah, so this is very tricky event for a very minor reward, whereas last time, and there's a lot of very particular things you have to do. You have to play in lights, mediums, heavies, assaults. You have to use all the different weapon types. You have to shoot down UAVs. You have to detect with UAVs. You have to destroy missiles with the AMS. You have to destroy lots of components. 100 components. That was the real big hurdle last week. But at least when you did it, you got 200 MC. This time it's just another one. It's never one skill point and 1 million C-Bills.
I think that's why you've been seeing a lot of missile boats going around too, just to kind of get the components they can, since it just spread it out.
Yeah, this event hasn't really. It's drawn out a lot of weird behavior from players, and I do not feel that great about this. This big mood event has made me very moody.
I know myself though. I could always use C-Bills. I don't mind the C-Bills. That's fine, because I could always use C-Bills on my alt account. Mostly, I've been playing my alt account, which I changed the name to Young Bob, and it's been going pretty good. Getting some C-Bills for this and that, and purchasing some mechs that I haven't gotten before, and I've been doing that kind of stuff. But the GXP just needs to go away. The premium time's kind of cool, for new players and everything. I mean, don't get me wrong, the GXP is really good for new players and everything. The advanced UAVs for the one detection for gather intel. Yeah, they're 40,000 each, so that does make a good point about getting some money for that, because you could always use always use those advanced ones. But yeah, it just seems underwhelming. Basically, I'm kind of moody during the games. In fact, last night, 2 nights ago. I actually flipped out. I flipped out for the first time, and I was so pissed. And I flipped out like crazy, and luckily wasn't caught that much.
I feel like at least with the sale, 50% off assault mechs. Assault mechs, even with 50% off, can be fairly pricey.
Yeah,
Um, Like in the sphere, you're paying 3 million, 5 million. With clan, oh boy, you're paying still like 10 million C-bills. And this event will give you, I haven't tallied it up, what, 11 million C-bills or so? 8 million C-bills.
Well, like I bought the 8Q for I think 3.5 million, and that worked out pretty good, for the awesome. And I've been playing that one like lately. So it does help though, man. It does help.
It certainly helps getting 8 million C-bills if you do all the grind. I just feel like the event almost should be built around assaults even. That would be kind of cool. That assaults are on sale, and the event, instead of giving this kind of underwhelming GXP, turn that 1 million C-bills into 1.5 million C-bills, 2 million C-bills. This is the time you're asking people to buy the most expensive mechs in the game.
I do agree with you. Yeah.
With all the assaults on sale, there's a lot to choose from. It's a great time to pick up assault mechs.
How about the cockpit standing items and the hanging and the WarHorns?
A large one is okay. The blazer sidearm sort of looks cool. It's a pistol, I think, that just sort of swivels in place. But I usually only care about the WarHorns personally.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Like, except for some of the other ones, I kind of like to have my dashboard. Kind of, look at this. This looks cool. But yeah, like I do agree with you on that one. It's just the underwhelming for event. The sale was kind of cool because I bought another assault mech, which I don't play. Or play assaults basically, but I can play the awesome. I can play the Marauder 2C. No, not the 2C. It's the not the Scorch. Oh God, what's that one? But I can't do it on this account because it's all the Inner Sphere. I can play a couple mechs that are here, so I'm kind of happy about that.
Yeah, there's lots of solid assault mechs out there. Annihilator's of course quite a popular pick. I've seen a lot of people taking really stupid Atlas builds out, at least the last couple of days. I've got 2 Rack 5s, 2 MRM 10s, and 3 light PPCs.
What?
Yeah, and it was in group queue when we were doing LBX night, and we both of them took the same build. So they both bought the Atlas, and a guy said, "Oh, I got an awesome build. Let's both run it."
Oh my God.
We kind of bullied them. They overheated all the time.
Wow. Okay. Oh man. So big mood. Yeah. Well. I'm kind of not in a mood to do big mood. I guess
moody.
It's moody. Yeah.
What mechs would you suggest people get? Just quickly.
The awesome. Any awesomes, they're pretty awesome. The Victor's kind of fun. The Zeus's are really nice. Especially the Lexicomish. Bound Mash is good. Out of those are the ones I really play. Just those first 4.
I would obviously go with the meta mechs like Annihilators in there. There's Kodiak in there. Madcat Mark II. Those are the mechs that are played and that are really good right now. So
I would generally tell people. I would tell people to stay away from Gargoyles, Executioners, and Night Stars, particularly Night Stars.
Oh,
it got a flavor quirk, but it still jams.
What, the Flamer jams?
No, the weapons jam the UAC 20.
Okay, yeah.
I think.
But you can take 2 of them. So if one of them jams, it doesn't matter.
Oh,
isn't it beautiful?
At least I've seen plenty of people use the boiler. That because you can actually run the 2 UAC 20s and still an SRM 18 with Artemis, whereas that Night Star's only got energy backup, which is a little awkward with 2 very hot UAC 20s, spattering away. All right. In terms of other mechs becoming available, I think we should move on to the Incubus coming out for C-bills.
Even if I got it for that thing, I hate the Incubus, dude. It is junk. It is crap. It's crap. It's crap.
I have the policy. Yeah. I have the policy that I want every single mech at least one variant, so I'm gonna buy one. But dang, 6 million C-bills for a mech that's only gonna sit in my mech base.
That's expensive. That is pretty expensive.
I think the simplest one to pick up and play would be the Incubus 4, the one with 7 energy hardpoints. 6 of them are mounted really high up by the cockpit. You can mount something like 6 medium lasers, 6 medium pulse lasers, whatever suits your fancy up there, and peek and poke with it very well. Whereas Incubus 1, 2, 3, I think even like 5, they all have this really awkward mix of energy, ballistic, and missile. And it's only a 30-tonner, and it can't really fit that much stuff. And it's like, oh wow, this one could fit 4 machine guns, whereas this one could fit 3 machine guns, and this one could fit 5 machine guns. Well, I might as well just use a Mistlynx or an Arctic Cheetah or a frickin' Piranha. This is it's a big, wide mech with it's got nice agility, but no survival quirks, and its HUD points are really awkward.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the cool thing is, though, the patterns are 50% off. So if you really do like it, you could get those for 50% off, and bolt-ons, if you want to put some bolt-ons on it and waste your MC on it, you can as well. I'm not biased against that mech. Nope.
Yeah, I have therefore, because it's become out for CBILS, seen a few more Incubi running around the field, but they disappeared fairly quickly, as to be expected.
I think I played it like once I got it, like the first week, I'm like, oh god, this is like horrific, man. And just to get the extra pattern for, I think I had to play like the number 3 or something.
2,000
like
damage with the special variant.
Getting 2,000 damage in that thing was horrific, man. It took me many games to do that, because it's just like, it just has no survivability at all. The hard points are just crappy. Just everything was just sucky about that thing.
Yeah, the Incubus one is pretty bad. It's got only 2 energy mounted high. It's got 4 high mounted ballistics, so 4 high mounted light machine guns, guys. Oh my gosh. And 2 in an arm, a very large arm that gets blown off easily.
But one of the other things, though, the champion's going out for MC, which the champion is actually a solid mech. That is actually a good mech. I like that mech.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't advise anyone to pick it up for MC. Just, it's usually not worth your time unless it's a hero mech and it's 50% off.
Yeah.
So hold on to your MC and next month it will come out for CBILS anyway. So yeah, I am looking forward to finally getting a chance to play the champion.
I think the only time I actually spent MC for a mech that was already out was the flea, because I watched a BrioS's video of him killing 9 mechs with the flea. I was like, dude, I gotta get that mech based off one of his videos. He killed 9 mechs with it was 10 mechs with 1 flea, and it's like, dude, I gotta get this. and so I spent the $20, got the basic pack, and it's like, dude, this is freaking awesome, man. I love this thing. And that's the only time I really kind of, like after it came out, spent the extra like MC for it. But yeah, like, just like you said, wait.
The flea is only 500 MC, which is very nice price. It's only 20-tonner, whereas you're paying 2,000, 3,600 for the champions. Oh boy.
Yeah. But like, it was worth the $20 I spent for it. Got the extra premium time and everything. But I mean, wait for the champion to go for CBILS and then go from there, like, pretty much, except for the like hero mechs.
Yeah, so other than the energy Incubus, there is really not much to say about this mech. And even just a clan energy boat, there's an Arctic Cheetah already around. It has ECM with 2 high mounted energy points. ECM is much more valuable than firing 6 medium lasers with a hill peak, because I've at least I put 6 medium lasers onto this thing. It's got 18 double heat sinks. It still gets fairly toasty. So I'm going to try and figure this thing out finally, but it's mostly a skip mech. It's at least not a firestorm.
A firestorm, huh?
Yeah. One of the worst light mechs in the game, the Firestarter hero that you got in the Solaris pack.
Yeah, that had some issues. Yeah, that's some big issues. I got it still, but I like the paint job. The paint job looks really nice on it.
One weird thing I keep having with the Incubus is I keep wanting to jump, but they can't take jump jets, I don't think.
For a mech like that, it should actually take jump jets. That'd be kind of nice. It'd be kind of like Gunpla,
Yeah, and just that extra little bit of mobility would be really nice. But nope, again, the Arctic Cheetah has it beaten in that regard as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Just get an Arctic Cheetah, guys, and put ECM and jump jets on.
Better mechs out there. Okay, so is that it for the horrible Incubus and the awesome champion?
Yep.
Okay. So next we got the Mechwarrior 5 AMA Session on March 13th. They're going to be talking about Mechwarrior 5 and reliability. Or replayability, I'm sorry. Replayability. So this is going to be an interesting one because I know there's going to be a lot of people that will be modding, like Ian will be modding, hopefully. Like, I want to go play with your stuff there. And then replayability. Can you play the game multiple times? Because a lot of games are like that. You're going to play it once or twice, and before you go, okay, I already know what's going to happen. There's going to be this over here, like that over there. So this will actually kind of figure out if you could replay the game again over and over and over again. And I think you could. Like I definitely could, especially hanging out with my friends with 4-person co-op.
Yeah, well, I'll see how they talk about the issue, because it is, at least from a developmental standpoint, quite an important thing to cover. The supposed length of your game will be something a lot of people will talk about. So, let's just say the campaign is 10 or so hours, and people say you play 10 hours and then you're done with the game. That's not going to sit so well in reviews and, general chatter about the game. So it's always good to give some hints or some late game or reasons for people to say, oh, hey, you could do the 10-hour campaign, but then there's other things you could do. And then, so from a marketing standpoint and making sure your game is successful, yep, very much so. Make sure that replayability is a thing you think about and focus on and do some effort towards. I have to wait and see what they talk about. It all depends on, my opinion, at least, what people are getting out of the game. If it's a very, very long campaign and take forever to get up to the biggest mechs, is the plateau of fun when you're, diving through the enemy with assault mechs, is the plateau? It all depends what people find fun in the game, I imagine. And if you have to every time climb to that assault, to use those assault mechs, why would you ditch that campaign to start again from scratch? It's a bit like it's the same kind of case. I think it's going to be a bit like with BattleTech. It's career mode or doing their campaign again. Is there a cause to try again from scratch?
Well, no, for myself though, like they're gonna have a campaign where every year like goes up to 30-50 type thing. So every year they're gonna have like extra stuff to put in type, go put on your mech, like XL engines or pulse lasers or whatever, basically ER lasers, based on the inner sphere. So it will have replayability from that path based off of like what you get, like just like in BattleTech, on the Rogue Tech, I think it is. Every so often you might find some stuff inside the warehouses, and and you purchase that kind of stuff. So it will have some type of replayability based off that. But
well, that's actually an issue in some senses, because you have to wait until XL engines come out, until like, let's just say for some reason you really want to pilot a Raven. You have to wait really late into the timeline to actually use it. At that point, you're probably already in mediums, heavies, assaults, whatever. Why then pick up a Raven? In some ways,
well, BattleTech has the same issue.
Yeah, well, at least in BattleTech, the turn-based game by harebrained schemes, it takes place in a very set time frame. So there is no wait to just have your dropship sit around for 200 for several years and hey, now the other mechs are available, let's play with the new tech. And that's also a worry I have, at least in some ways. Like it's really fun having your mechs having double heat sinks with all the various weapon systems available, and that might be quite a long grind or wait until those actually become available. So
well, that's the career path, basically, going off to 30-50. Basically, they'll be actually coming in with those types of like technology. But I don't want to see what they did with BattleTech, where okay, cool, I got a Spider or I got a Raven, like let's say, and it's like, but I have a whole lance of assault mechs. I have 3-4 lances of assault mechs, whatever, and just using those guys because they're the best things like on the planet or in the galaxy. So, you take your Ravens, you just start selling them off like crazy for parts because it's like they're useless. I don't want to see the point that they did in BattleTech where oh yeah, okay, cool, I got Enforcer, whatever. I'm gonna junk that thing. And like normally you wouldn't do that, but I don't want to see that in Mechwarrior 5.
Well, yeah, that's the interesting thing. At least in BattleTech, you wouldn't even necessarily come across the Raven. When you're
Well,
doing
to like 30,
5 skull or
40.
4 skull. Well, when you're doing 4 or 5 skull missions, you're at late game. You're with the Lance of Assault Mechs. You do a 5 skull mission. All the enemies are assault mechs or heavy mechs.
Yeah.
There's not even light mechs to contend with. So even if the Raven was a possible mech that would appear in the game, you're not actually fighting against it. That's at least in campaign. In career mode, the average skull levels that you're fighting are, of course, dependent on the planet rather than how far you progress through the campaign.
Yeah.
In which case, yeah, you would actually find ravens.
We'll see how the replayability comes with the AMA session, and I mean, so far I'm happy with what they're doing. I'm very excited that they waited a whole year instead of like bringing it out at MechCon last year. Because if they brought out like Fallout 76, I'll be really pissed.
I mean, in my mind, the simple way to make the game replayable is to have an engaging progression system. So you have a really engaging start where it feels, there's a lot of things to get your teeth into from the very get-go. Then obviously, you want mid-tier levels that, it's fun getting your first medium mech, it's fun getting your second medium mech, etc., etc. And, when it plateaus off at the end game, you really feel like you've gained a sense of power. So it's all about the progression system, in my opinion. If you have an engaging progression system where it feels really good to be in the early game and you're looking forward to the mid game, and then you're in the mid game, you're enjoying the mid game, but you're looking forward to the late game, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, at least, that is what would make the most sense to make the progression of the game interesting and make people want to replay it, because it's fun going up the slope rather than just being at the peak all the time. That would be the result of a good progression system.
Well, maybe they could have like say drop tonnage like per like mission type thing. Like you only break like 290 drop tonnage or something like that. That way you got to really kind of think like, okay, I could have one assault mech and and 3 medium mechs or something like that.
A big issue I imagine is you're always in just that one leopard dropship.
Yeah.
There's only so many mech bays available to you.
Yeah, 4 of them.
You haven't got the Argo available to you, which when fully upgraded can take 15, 18 mechs or whatever it was.
18, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 18.
So
Plus
in BattleTech,
storage. So
yeah. So I'm not so convinced. I think just for the most part, you want an engaging progression system, rather than always trying to make all tonnage weights, useful all the time. Instead, you just make it fun when you're running around with light mechs. And against light mechs, you make it fun when you're running around with mediums against mediums, and you make it fun when you're running heavies against heavies, etc., etc.
I just want to see it be like BattleTech towards the end, where every pirate band has four atlases, type thing.
I think that's what I'm proposing, though, is that is what they did, and it's the easiest thing to do, because it's really hard to make sure the player plans appropriately to have a mix of drop tonnages and has enough spare supplies that they could replace or reuse damaged mechs. So it just it's the easiest to just sort of have the player lance always be player lance always face off against opponents of about equal tonnage. And in the case of BattleTech, that was the reason to replay the game. In the sense, the very late game, all you're doing is fighting assault mechs versus assault mechs. Well, if you want to go back to the good old days, start the campaign again.
Yeah. I like the good old days. That's just me, though.
Yeah, but that's that's the thing. At least, it makes it replayable by having it. You wanting to go back and do it again. In some ways, I would perhaps say it would be interesting if you had the option to say only up to 2.5 skulls, only medium mechs. Like, I want to play medium mechs forever. Tailor your experience or something like that. Give options to the player and let them do things how they'd like. And that could be interesting in some respects as well. Like, if you could manually change it whilst you're playing, you're like, okay, I picked up a Raven. Well, I'm going to equip only light mechs. So I'm going to say, scrap all my heavies. I'm going to buy only light mechs, and I'll only face light mechs.
Yeah,
because it's so annoying. You get your Raven, and then you're only facing heavies and assaults, and it's like, well, I'd like to try it, but what's
What's the point? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's gonna be as useful as it is in Mechwarrior Online on average.
Look, I got a spider. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I definitely agree with you on that one. Yeah, who knows? And I might turn in for this for the 6 PST one. I might do that one.
Yeah.
Just
It'd be interesting to see what questions people ask and how PGI approaches it. One interesting thing, at least from a gameplay design standpoint, you're saying technology is moving forward, but does the enemy's difficulty also move forward? Like, do they start getting later variants of mechs, or are they still running single heat sinks at the time of the players running around with doubles? Because that could make the player incredibly overpowered relative to the AI.
True. Well, they did the same thing with a BattleTech, because like some units do actually use better equipment. Like say like a rangefighter and stuff like that.
I haven't come across that really in turn-based BattleTech.
Yeah, like turn-based basically. Like they'll have like elbow joints to do more damage with it and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I thought you meant maybe harebrained schemes, but
no, actually harebrained schemes. And when you fight certain units or certain things like maybe like house units.
Yeah, they've actually they put in plus weapons.
Plus weapons.
And equipment mods to mechs.
Yeah,
true.
So it's there.
And later game enemies, they have more skilled up pilots, so they actually have like at the very beginning they have no skills whatsoever, and then later they've got bulwark, multi-target, and breaching shot and whatnot. Yeah. Use the evasive movement of tactician, which actually kind of screwed things over because they outnumber you, and half of them have tactician. So it's just like they're always going far ahead of before me anyway. So I might as well just go all assaults and never take master tactician.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So next we got the wonderful Dervish. Yes, Dervish. Nice. I'm excited about this one. It's not gonna be it's a 55-ton mech, which is mostly just a missile mech. It's fast. It's not gonna be a Kentaro with the with the survivability quirk, so it's not gonna be a brawler. So all these people with a streak, I'm gonna put 8 streaks on it. It's not gonna really happen that well, so it's not gonna be a brawler. But it's fast. It's gonna be interesting to check out. I'm wondering what the quirks are gonna be. That's what's really gonna like determine like what mechs will be the best ones to go and use. But like I said, it's not gonna be Kentaro, man, guys. It's just gonna be fast, and I'm kind of excited about it, and jump jets too, which is good.
I think in most people's minds, the Kentaro is usually not used as a positive example. Bob.
Oh no, I love that mech. Yeah, are you kidding? That's a great mech.
I know. I'm just saying, on average, you're like, don't rush too far ahead, guys. It's not going to be as good as the Kentaro, and people are going to think, but the Kentaro is just a walking death trap.
I use Kentaro like sometimes. I get some good scores out of it. It's just kind of boring to play sometimes, especially during faction warfare.
Yeah, I mean, what could be said about the Dervish? Obviously, to get the basics, it's in a sphere, 55-tonner. All of them have jump jets, no mask, no ECM, as far as I've seen.
No.
The closest relatives I would say it has is, very much so the Griffin, maybe somewhat the Shadowhawk. Just 55-tonners with missile hunt points. There's plenty of these already in the game. I guess Wolverine, but that's not got a lot of missile hunt points.
No.
Yeah. I was surprised to see this one actually come up.
I was too, actually.
I kind of like it in the sense that, hey, we got another, at least in the classic BattleTech, it's one of the LRM boats, like the Trebuchet, the support mechs. Whilst this one, I think this one, will be will entice a lot of people because of the sheer amount of missile hardpoints it can bring to the table, particularly something like the Hero. We've got 2 in each side torso, 2 in each arm, 8 missile hardpoints. That's a really good, like, there's nothing like that in the game in terms of just sheer missile hard pointage. I mean, obviously you have things like the Archer, but for a 55-tonners, the next best you've got is the Bushwhacker.
Yeah.
Which comes into my next problem. At least that if you want a 55-tonner with a lot of missile hard points, there's the Bushwhacker.
which has really good it has really good damage points and everything.
It's got good survivability,
Yeah.
and it has a good shape for the most part. You could just right now pick up a bushwhacker, the one with 6 missile hardpoints, and go to town with all those weird 6 missile hardpoint loadouts you want. The only thing is, at least my feeling is that you just because you have a lot of hardpoints doesn't mean you necessarily want to use each of them. Filling 8 missile hardpoints with IS tech is
hard.
Pretty hard. Like, even if you're just using SRM2s, I mean, that's 8 tons worth of missiles, and then you have to take enough ammo and take enough heat sinks just to keep it cool. I mean, there's obviously the opportunity to take a whole bunch of rockets.
Oh, yeah.
And you can do some funky things like 3 streak 6s with 4 streak 2s or something like that. Or I think SRM2s with SRM 6s for a brawly loadout.
I do find it interesting. The hero, the Frenzy, has 2 Learn 20s, and normally on medium mechs you don't see that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I don't know the canonicity of it, but it is usually with PGI at least they can just shove on an interesting loadout with it.
Yeah. I mean, during tabletop, I use this a lot, though. The Dervish was one of my go-to mechs as far as missile mechs, and the Trebuchet, on tabletop BattleTech.
Yeah, I would say the huge number of missile hardpoints doesn't actually that interest me that much, because you need to find the tonnage for the weapons, then the ammo, then the heat sinks, and just being able to boat a lot of missile hardpoints isn't actually that useful. Once you go past 4 missile hardpoints, it really starts to tailor off how useful those extra hardpoints are. So for the most part, also I would say those side torsos is going to be a little annoying opening the doors every time, but they're nice and high. So the variants with 2 missiles on each side torso are the ones I would be most interested in, because the arms, they're kind of big, it looks like, and they're kind of big, kind of be relatively low and wide.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't actually want to shove that many weapons into the arms. You want to use those as shields, because this guy, he looks like he's a fairly big target.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, though, this thing will go fast. I mean, just at a 275, you're running at 81, and the max engine range is 360. So it's going to be a fast, quick missile mech, and fire your missiles, jump behind stuff, or do whatever you got to do. So I don't think it's just going to be just like I told you, it's going to be a brawler, but be a harasser mech pretty much.
Yeah, it'll go it will go speed similar to the Griffin or the Kintaro. You're focusing a lot of your tonnage into missiles. So you're going around 80 kph. I wouldn't say that's super fast. It's clan mech speed, but you can keep up very much with the pack with this mech. Would be my guesstimation. Those side torsos, you can put something like SRM24 in it. You can do, obviously, the most common thing I think you'll see in it is just 2 big MRM launchers, and almost every variant can do that except for one of the reinforcements, which has oddly energy in the side torsos.
Yeah. Well, they got to mix it up somehow.
Yeah. I'm just sort of like this. There's so many IS 55 tonners. There's so many already good options available out there for missile boats for IS 55 tonners. And those have already been quirked quite nicely for weapons and durability. I have a feeling, the Dervish is obviously, it's coming into a very crowded market. It doesn't necessarily offer too much that's unique to the table, and we don't know how well it will be quirked. And some mechs, when they come out, like the poor Incubus or Nightstar or whatever, come out rather underquirked, because BGI has listened to people's complaints about every time the Kodiak comes out or another the Mad Cat Mark II or whatever comes out, they're overpowered. Like, oh well, we better make sure they're not overtuned when they come out to the play and make people say pay to win.
True. Well, like you said, basically the Bushwhacker obviously was 6. Very, very has a lot of durability. Even has other weapons, ballistics and stuff like that too. So it might do a better idea to go ahead and use that one instead of the Dervish. It is slower, but can take a hit. So who knows? I guess.
Well, the Bushwhacker has the same engine cap. It's all just about what weapons
weapons you can put on there. Okay, didn't know
Yeah,
that.
bushwhackers can take the same old 360 engine that any of the other 55 tonners can do. That's sort of the thing. There's so much overlap with these 55 tonners. There's plenty already that 55 tons with plenty of missile hardpoints and jump jets and could take a 360 engine.
Yeah, it might be other mechs that are out there then.
Yeah, as it stands, so at least if you like IS 55 tonners with missile hardpoints, I think the standard pack mostly has you covered. You have the Dervish, was it 8D there? 2 missile hardpoints in each side torso. You can do your wannabe Griffin 2N without the ECM. Woo! And the others, you can hope they get good quirks and they'll have, one big MRM in each side torso. The reinforcements, I don't particularly think 1 energy in each side torso is much to go home about. You can do something like 2 PPCs, 2 large pulse lasers, but IS is not really built, not very good for that. And the hero just goes goes crazy with all the missile hardpoints, which it's kind of funny. You could do some gimmick builds with it, but for the most part, I think the standard pack is where you should go with the Dervish if you're interested enough.
Well, I'm gonna mess around with the frenzy and go and see what I can do with it. But yeah, the standard pack is good though. Based off of what it was the 8D. No, it was the it was the 7D actually. It has a lot of missile ports.
Those are in the arms, and I'm not sure how good that will be.
Well, like most people just probably put some merms in it though. In the left and right torso.
Merm side torsos, yeah. If you're using the missile arms, I assume you use SRMs. So like SRM 24 in the arms, that might be kind of good. Who knows? Though they're all trying to compete with the Griffin 2N, which could do the SRM 24 really tight spread, and jump jets and ECM with a decent speed. So just get the Bushwhacker if you want lots of hard points, and get the Griffin if you want ECM on top of all of this.
So like just a standard pack then.
Yeah, if you're going to get it, I would just say the standard pack. I don't see there's much interesting on the table with this one. I wonder how its shape will fare. It does actually look like it will be able to roll damage fairly well. Its torso looks a bit like a Vindicator. It's kind of a small squat thing that if you twist just a little this way and that, it can actually spread damage fairly well. The arms are actually disproportionately large, which means the mech could actually be quite small. So it might have an edge. It's just, that ECM is so valuable with the Griffin 2M.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Who knows? I'll be eating my words when the thick, Dervish 7D with its 6 LRM5s and 5 jump jets becomes the new meta.
Well, they are changing the LRMs now. Next batch.
Mm-hmm.
So it might actually turn out that LRM 5s might be better because their missiles are bigger for some reason. I don't know.
I do hope they don't do the missile hit points per size of launcher.
I hope so too. That's just crappy. Anyways. And anything else on the Dervish guys?
No, that more or less covers it. I'm a little annoyed that they all come with the 275 XL engine. The 280 weighs the same amount. Damn it, you stock engines. I mean, I guess I got plenty of engines to sell again, but they also often come with endo and double heat sinks, so they don't actually cost much to fit out, which is nice.
True.
What do you guys think of the paint schemes? I do really like the look of the hero.
Yeah, it looks like someone threw paint on it, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, literally. It looks okay, I guess.
It's a lot better than the collectors, in my opinion. It's sort of a different variation of bog standard green, just with stripes.
Yeah. But of course, they're probably gonna have some, play this mech and you get a pattern for all your mechs. So who knows? But yeah, it does look like someone just threw some paint on the thing and here you go, and or a paint.
I mean, that's like the Buccaneer, with the hero. And it comes with the Buccaneer skin already. I use Buccaneer a lot, and pink. I like pink. I'll do.
Yeah,
a serious paint scheme for a serious mech.
Yeah, it comes with Impossible Pink, Rustic Red, and True Dat Blue. So yeah. Oh God.
Talking of the pre-orders, I'm a little saddened that they're also only offering the Sherman pattern. Since there are so many 55 tonners, the same engine cap, the same jump jet capacity, the same missile capacity, it would have been cool if you gave something like the Buccaneer pattern or something else,
Something
with
different.
these. Yeah, something that was a lot less boring. Like I used to only get the Sherman pattern because it was the most thing that looked like a cow, and I would color half of it white and half of it black.
I mean, like I put the Sherman pattern like on my Roughnecks, and it looks like Napoleon ice cream. So yeah, just I got to make it fun, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I use Sherman pattern to make fun of my mechs. I got a serious mech like the Incubus. I'll make it a cow Incubus. Moo.
Yeah, paint jobs are okay. It just looks like a paint truck exploded next to it. And I don't like the other paint schemes though. They don't really appeal to me that much. It just doesn't look cool. Like, it has to look cool on the battlefield, man. Maybe I'll put some stickers on it or something like that, like wide load or something. Or you're doing it wrong.
Since we got the two law people here, who mostly use the Dervish? Which faction?
That's a good question, actually.
That would certainly be my faction.
Davion, huh?
At least I am fairly certain it's mostly a Federated Sun mech.
Yeah, but it was produced by all factions, but used mostly by Davion.
Interesting, since Davion is known for that DACA, but yeah, okay.
Well, they also, it's like, we're gonna all use DACA. That's it. We're nothing else. I mean, they used everything. They used everything.
Yeah,
originally it was commissioned by the Lyran Commonwealth.
Oh, really?
2520.
Just like the Enforcer.
I am secretly hoping, at least like the Dervish 7D, it has a streak 2 in each arm. Yeah, that would be hilarious if that gets streak quirks, and then we're talking.
Well, like basically like the Blackjack, the one Blackjack with the streak quirks.
Yeah, though it has to try and catch up, as we mentioned, like the Kintaro or whatnot. With all its streak 6s and all that survivability.
Yeah, true. Okay, so next I think we got something special. Is that right?
Okay. Special is one word.
Special is definitely the word for this one. I think we were going to do something called what is our two favorite and what are our two hated WarHorns. So if I guess I'll go first because I have this already set up here. Two favorites are the Fool's WarHorn. I'll go ahead and preview that real quick. Very good idea. I love that horn. And then also my other favorite is a Jack-o'-lantern WarHorn, and I'm playing the sounds for these two. Two of my favorite ones out there. They're really cool. I love the ideas of them. And just awesome, just really good with WarHorns, and plus it's like everybody like one of those. My least favorites are all the Phoenixes. All the Phoenix WarHorns are crappy because they're all the same. So it doesn't matter. This is when they first start out doing mech packs and everything for a lot of the mechs. They just gave out Phoenix WarHorns, which have the same exact freaking sound, and that's it. Let me go play one.
They're also visually the same, just different colors.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything, doesn't laugh, doesn't have the little things going on or anything. It's just crappy. Not happy with those WarHorns. Okay, so I'm done. Okay, you go.
Yeah, I think a special mention will have to go for the Fool's WarHorn that was given away in the April Fool's event, and instead of triggering when you get a kill, it triggers when you die. And it's the perfect WarHorn to put on when you are running a silly build.
Yeah,
you just go kamikaze in the middle of the enemy team, die, and it's just like
exactly. And which other one?
One of my personal favorites somewhat is the Cauldron WarHorn. This came out with the Hellspawn, and I keep it in my Hellspawns, which I use a lot of the time. And it goes along with the kind of demonic theme. It's just something I personally associate quite nicely with.
That's actually pretty cool. Like I just listened to it. It's nice.
Mm-hmm. You don't hear it that often, which is why, again, it just it means I'm extra special because I'm running this very common mech with a very common one. There's so many other good
Just
WarHorns.
two.
I have to.
Just two.
Yeah. Well, that's the hard bit, you see. Choosing which one. I think I'd say the next best would probably be I just like having bagpipes, but particularly on my Highlanders.
Oh, of course. Come on.
They're so ostentatious. And a special mention would go to the Hot Rod, which came with the Hellfire. Just a big booming engine running along with your mech is quite a treat. Least favorite? Yeah, I kind of like the sound of the Phoenix WarHorns. It is a shame though that they did this for like 5 packs though.
Blasphemy. Heresy.
Yeah, and least favorite. I think some of the older ones are really kind of underwhelming, like the Rec Room speakers and the Yard Sale. Like the audio quality of the stuff they've done in later WarHorns is way better, and they're much more distinctive. Whereas these are just sort of they're so boring. So that would be at least my least favorite.
Okay. And Ian?
All right. I'm gonna start with the least favorite stuff because on that I just couldn't decide. There are so many ones I dislike, so I'm just gonna say in general I dislike everything that's either really bland, so you don't hear it in the game, or that's just quite like the stuff you guys mentioned. For the favorite, I mean the Phoenix is fine. It's just what Bida said, that there are so many of them that are very samey.
Yeah.
On its own, if it was a single one, I would find it middle ground. Okay, for my favorites, honorable mention is gonna go to the Fool's Warhorn, which is a really great idea. It just didn't quite make the cut for my top 2. My top 2 will have to be the Jack-o'-lantern. I just love putting it in my light mech, running behind an assault mech, killing the assault mech, and then just going. It's beautiful. And of course the bagpipes. I think the bagpipe one is the only one I ever bought with MC because I like it so much.
Same with me too, actually. That's the only one I definitely did buy.
Yeah, and those are my picks.
Yeah, it got me to exchange Mech XP for GXP that one time when they gave away a bagpipe.
That's right. That's where I got it from.
We
Yeah,
did that.
and we all talked about that too. Get the bagpipes now. Yeah. Oh my god.
A Warhorn I do enjoy listening to, though I don't use it too often, is the Meep Meep Warhorn.
Which
and the
one's that one?
Piranha. Meep Meep. It came out with the
Meep.
the Meep 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 Meep.
I know which one you talk about. Hold
Meep,
on.
meep.
Okay, here we go. Like Piranha, the Piranha speakers. Nope, no, not that one. No, that was the Flea one.
I said both of them, Bob. The Meep Meep Warhorn and the Flea Piranha speakers for the Piranha.
And which one's the Meep Meep one, though?
It's called Meep Warhorn.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, okay, that one's kind of cool, actually. I definitely do like that one.
They're both really cute and fit their associated mechs quite nicely. So I love running them when I'm running a Piranha or a Flea, getting a kill with those things. Meep, meep.
How about faction Warhorns? And Warhorns, I'm just curious. They're
the older ones, and I usually find them a bit generic. I sort of, for a basic one I use in the clans, because I really like clans. It's the Clan Hex Warhorn. Because it just, it's very clanny for me. It's very simple.
Yeah.
It doesn't require a lot of brain power to understand.
I actually like the created one, and the created one's pretty nice. It is kind of bland, I do admit though, but still has a kind of feel to it though.
It would be cool if they did another go at the faction Warhorns. I think like a new batch. Because I think their quality of sound design with all the Warhorns has vastly improved.
Oh yeah.
I think in some ways, I haven't heard them too often, but Diamond Shark, Nova Cat, the newer factions, those actually I think are probably going to be better than the usual faction sounds.
Okay, is that it for the WarHorns then?
More or less, I think it's a fun part of the game. You get a kill, and you got your own distinctive sound to add to the cacophony of battle. And it is particularly funny when you've got something like you hear in the distance someone beep 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 beep, and you're like, oh great, but I just got Never Killer the Flea. I've really got to I got to catch up my game.
Nice.
I think most people usually use WarHorns, but I see a lot of mechs without, and I think it's just because a lot of people have a lot of mechs, and it's just a lot of hassle taking them out and putting them back in all the time. So a lot of people don't bother.
Yeah, basically what happens is I put like my favorite WarHorn, like Jack-o'-lantern, in one of my mechs, and it's like I have like 290 mechs. I'm like, I'm not gonna go through all these freaking mechs and find out like which one's which. If they made something where you could just take it off normally off one mech and just put it on like and the one you're using, that'd be perfect, like automatically or something like that. That'd be perfect to do, because they get lost, man. They get lost in all your mechs that you have.
Yeah, that's the problem I have with all the standing cockpit items. It's just I kind of want to put them in my mechs, but then there's the whole, I really want to put this in my mech. Oh, I have to find where it is.
It's kind of like the early games with the engines when we switched around engines between mechs because they were so expensive.
Yeah.
Nowadays we don't care anymore because we have got the C-builds, but with WarHorns that cost MC. Just we never get to the point where we don't care anymore.
I do like that they give plenty of WarHorns away in events, such to the point that I do actually get a large collection of certain WarHorns. Like they kept giving the worksite stereo WarHorn away.
Yeah.
The one with the roughneck. And so I've left a lot of those in my mechs now, and I've still got 4 to spare. But it does mean some WarHorns that aren't given away, like the Cauldron WarHorn, I have that stuck in my Hellspawn, and just one of my Hellspawns, which
Or
is
the
kind of sad.
Jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah, I want war, but I'm not paying MC for it. No.
I mean, sometimes they do go on sale though, but still 250 MC for or even 500 like MC. Like sometimes it gets way too expensive.
It's still cheaper than bolt-ons.
yeah, I know, much cheaper than bolt-ons, and you can split them between your mechs.
Well, yeah, that you can take it out of one mech and put it into any other mech, whereas a bolt-on is only for that type of mech, which really limits you.
Thank you, everybody, for watching the First Circuit Podcast number 76. We have Biter as one of our hosts.
Blarg.
Ian.
Bye.
And old Bob, myself. Bye, and see you guys later, and see you on the battlefield.